Have you ever wondered why rice is offered in temples, placed on altars, or stored carefully in sacred corners of the home? What if I told you that the most powerful object to attract abundance is not a crystal, a coin, or a charm, but something you may already have in your kitchen? Yes, rice. That tiny, humble grain holds an ancient secret. Across Asia and in many parts of the world, rice is more than just food. It is a living symbol of wealth, protection, prosperity, and gratitude. But most of us have no idea how much power lies in each grain. In today's video, I will reveal to you the forgotten spiritual power of rice, how it affects your mindset, your energy, and even your finances. And I'll show you 3 simple rituals you can start doing today to invite more luck, peace, and abundance into your life. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at a bowl of rice the same way again. Rice, so simple, so small, and yet for centuries, it has been one of the most sacred symbols of wealth, luck, and divine connection in cultures around the world. To many, rice is just food. But to those who remember the old ways, rice is a blessing, a spiritual tool, a quiet bridge between heaven and earth. In Shinto belief, everything in nature contains a spirit called kami, a divine presence. This spirit lives not only in rivers and trees, but in small, ordinary things as well. Rice, though humble, is believed to carry this sacred life force. Every grain is alive with intention. Every grain is a tiny vessel of possibility. In ancient Japan, entire festivals were built around rice planting and harvesting. Before the first seed touched the soil, priests and farmers would offer prayers to the gods, thanking them for last year's harvest and asking for abundance in the next. The rice field was not a farm. It was a sacred altar. When the first grain sprouted, it was seen as a sign that life was listening. Even today, bowls of rice are placed on altars and shrines, not as decoration, but as spiritual offerings to ancestors and divine spirits. It's a silent prayer of gratitude, an invitation to abundance. But this belief isn't limited to Japan. In China, rice is thrown at weddings as a wish for prosperity and fertility. In India, rice is offered during sacred ceremonies. In many parts of Africa, rice is placed in ritual spaces to attract the blessings of ancestors. It seems no matter where you go, rice is always tied to life, fortune, and the invisible forces that guide us. Why is that? Why does this tiny grain carry such powerful meaning? First, rice multiplies. From a single seed, thousands more can be grown. It represents expansion, fertility, and return on effort. Second, rice grows in water, and water has always symbolized flow, emotion, and wealth. Rice teaches us that prosperity doesn't come from force, but from flow, from patience, nourishment, and timing. Third, rice sustains life. It feeds families, entire nations. To have rice is to have security, and to share rice is to share peace. That's why, across many cultures, rice became more valuable than gold. It wasn't just wealth, it was wealth. But the most powerful part, how we treat rice affects how we treat ourselves. If we honor rice, we honor our roots. If we bless rice, we bless our future. Now, let's talk about how you can use rice to awaken this power in your own life, not just as food, but as a spiritual ally. These simple rituals can turn your relationship with rice into a path of abundance, clarity, and strength. The first ritual is called the Bowl of Abundance. Take a clean, small bowl, preferably ceramic or wood, and fill it with uncooked white rice. In the center, place a coin or small object that symbolizes wealth to you. This could be a golden token, a foreign coin, or even a lucky charm. Place the bowl in the wealth corner of your home. This is usually the far left corner from your front entrance. Every morning, look at this bowl and say softly, "As each grain multiplies, so does my wealth. I welcome abundance into my life with gratitude." This simple act sets your tone for the day. It reminds your subconscious that abundance is near, not far. The second ritual is cooking with intention. Before you cook rice, take a moment, hold it in your hands, close your eyes, and breathe. Say, "Thank you for feeding my body and my dreams." May this rice bring strength, clarity, and opportunity. When we prepare food with presence, we nourish more than the body. We feed the soul. The energy you infuse into your cooking affects. The third ritual is the new moon rice jar. On the night of the new moon, a time of fresh beginnings, take a glass jar and fill it with uncooked rice. Write your financial intention or goal on a small piece of paper. Fold it and place it inside the jar. Close it tight and leave it near your window so it can absorb the quiet energy of the night. This becomes your jar of intention. Keep it for 30 days. When the moon becomes full, open the jar, take a pinch of rice, and scatter it into the earth or into moving water. This act symbolizes release and trust. You've planted the seed, now let the universe grow it. Some may call these rituals superstition. But what is superstition if not an expression of belief? Belief is powerful. Belief rewires your brain. When you practice these rituals, you shift your focus. You become more grounded. You act with clarity. You think with purpose. You walk with confidence. And these subtle changes in your energy ripple out, shaping your relationships, decisions, and results. There's even psychology behind this. In science, it's called the placebo effect, when belief alone causes healing or change. But in spiritual terms, this is the law of alignment. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions line up, reality follows. Let me share a short story. A viewer from Thailand once wrote to me, saying she had struggled financially for years. One night, she saw a post about rice rituals. Curious, she placed 3 grains of rice in her wallet, along with a handwritten affirmation: "I am a magnet for prosperity." Within weeks, her attitude shifted. She became more hopeful, more focused. She asked for a raise and got it. A small home business she'd given up on suddenly took off. She said, "The rice didn't change my life, but my belief in myself did." That's the magic. Not in the object itself, but in how we interact with it. In Shinto, there's a beautiful concept called Ichire Shikon, 1 spirit, 4 souls. It teaches that each of us carries different energies within: the soul of growth, the soul of harmony, the soul of love, and the soul of action. Rice touches all of these. It helps us grow. It creates harmony. It expresses love, and it supports our action. It is not just a grain. It is a mirror of our own potential. So the next time you cook rice, eat rice, or even see it, pause, smile, offer a quiet word of thanks. You are handling something ancient, sacred, and wise. We often chase abundance in the big, flashy things. But the truth is, real wealth often begins in the smallest places, in the stillness of a morning, in the warmth of a home-cooked meal, in a tiny bowl of white rice, sitting silently by the window, catching the light. That is where the Spirit lives. That is where abundance begins. If this video made you feel something, a small shift, a gentle awakening, or even just a spark of curiosity, then you're already on the path. You don't need expensive things to attract abundance. Sometimes all you need is a bowl of rice, a word of thanks, and a heart that believes. Let this video be your reminder. Wealth starts in the soul. If you enjoyed this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share your own rice rituals or stories in the comments. I'd love to read them and maybe feature them in a future video. Stay grounded, stay grateful, and may your life bloom like a golden field of rice in the sun